America's Pulse Network welcomes you to the Pulse Podcast. Today we've got a packed show, from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you well informed. So, please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the APN's The Pulse Podcast talks about, then please share the Pulse with others. During this episode of The Pulse, the host looks forward to your comments. Tonight's APN's The Pulse Podcast starts now.
Oh, I'm off center. I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. Good evening. It is Wednesday at 8. This is The Pulse. I am Seth Eisenberg. It says right there. Yeah, right there. So if you're supposed to be here, awesome. Welcome. If you got lost and found yourself here, that's pretty cool. You can find weirder things to be on. Trust me, it's the internet. You can find some really strange shit to be at. So you're safe. You're safe here. Hey, Donald, how are you? So yeah, this is The Pulse. Like it said in the beginning, if you have questions or want to make any comments, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll see them. I will try to answer, and the guests will try to answer any questions you answer. I'm not going to promise we're going to get to them, but we're going to try. My show on Sunday got a little out of hand with the questions, so let's stop. Let's not do the rapid fire questions. Like you ask me a question, then ask me another question, then ask me another. Let keep it down to like 2 or 3 questions if you could. Just to be fair to everybody else. But yeah, so hope y'all have had a good week. Today is Wiener Wednesday. I'm not calling it Hump Day because I just don't like Hump Day. That sounds stupid. Wiener Wednesday sounds better. So from now on, we are always on Wiener Wednesdays. Yes, she is. That is true, Donald. She is much prettier than me. Much, much prettier. But I have a better beard than she does. But yeah, on Wiener Wednesdays, you can come watch us on The Pulse every Wednesday. I'm on. Unfortunately, Alexandria won't be on again today. She has some prior engagements, and again, Elena Barbera, the base mother, is dealing with some family issues, and we wish her the best. So they'll be back hopefully next Wednesday. Alexandria might jump on later on. She said she'll try, but if not, it's not because she doesn't like you. It's because she's busy. Life happens outside of this stuff. It's hard to believe, but it does. So yeah. So we have a pretty exciting show. It's always exciting. It's never boring. It's always got something going on. Again, please feel free to ask questions or leave comments. Like I said, this past Sunday, it was like, I think we had over 500 comments, and they all came in at like 3 seconds. So kind of space them out if you can, because it just makes things a lot easier. So what we're going to do is we'll do breaking news, and then we're going to get right into to the guests. And of course, the man behind the scenes, the puppet master, we have Damon Sherrod. He is our technical guru. She's got a lot to cover. Yeah, she does. But yeah, Damon's taking care of everything. So every time you say, man, Seth just messed up, imagine hearing it, being in charge, and not being able to stop me from doing it. That's the curse of being the producer on this show, is me. All right, so let's jump right into the breaking news. The first one, I believe, is my favorite of all cities in Maryland, Baltimore. The picture is kind of small, but I have it. Let me read the caption on this. They got to remember the mayor of Baltimore is all about Baltimore, about how great it is, and it's a wonderful city, and blah 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 blah. Again, it was voted, I believe, the 5th out of all the cities in the country, the 5th worst city to live in. Again, I think before it was the 5th most dangerous city. Now it's the 5th just in general worst city to live in. Let me find that note. Where'd I put it? There we go. Of course I got it. There. Where is it? I can't find it, but that's what it's the 5th worst city, and they base it on, I think, income, housing, education, and crime. So out of all the cities in America, all the cities, Baltimore is the top 5 yet again. But the mayor will tell you it's a wonderful city. It's It's a wonderful city. Yeah, it says Baltimore ranked among the worst large U.S. cities for raising a family in a new Wallet Hub study that compared more than 80 cities. Oh, so not the entire country, 80, but still a lot. 80 cities on factors ranging from housing, affordability, school quality, to unemployment and crime. And I hate bashing Baltimore because there are good people who live here that are just trapped there by circumstance. They can't afford to leave. They're too old. They have no family outside of the city, so they're forced to live in that open wound on the face of the planet. And I feel sorry for them. I really do. And I hope you understand when I talk about Baltimore, I'm not talking about them. My heart goes out to them. If I were a billionaire, I'd move you all out of there. But I'm not, so I can't. So when I say Baltimore is a dump, I'm not talking about those people. So save the emails and the text messages. I'm not going to explain myself again. Baltimore is the world's largest outdoor shooting range. Really, it's the last time I checked, I think they had improved a little bit, but they're like 500 officers short of a full force, which is a lot when you're in a city. 500 officers not showing up or not being able to fill those positions, that's a lot. I believe they've had to close down substations in the city because they have no one to man them. But the moron man-child mayor of Baltimore will tell you that it's, heaven on earth. It's Shangri-La, Nirvana. He's an idiot. I think he spent like over $200,000 on his vehicle as the mayor, his vehicle to get around town in, like some souped-up Suburban, that could like survive a nuclear missile strike, because that's what. Well, it is Baltimore, so you never know. There could be they could have some nukes there. But that is Baltimore in a nutshell. And every year they come out in the top 5 of something bad. And then all of a sudden something comes out. They're number 1 for this. And if you look into the people who give them number 1, it's like some ad agency or some company where if you pay, the more you donate improves your rank. So these are legit right here. You can't pay your way out of this. So the next thing we got on breaking news is protesters clash with ICE. And we'll ask Damon Galdo about this because this is going on in his neck of the woods where he's running for Congress, an ICE detention center in New Jersey. Apparently the rule of law doesn't apply anymore. You can detain and block and assault federal officers as long as your feelings are hurt. Apparently there's some detainees who are there for committing crimes and are being deported, who have stayed past their visa and are being deported, or are just here illegally and being deported, who are complaining about the food, complaining about the living conditions, and complaining about the medical facilities, and also saying COVID is running rampant. My whole thing is prison has never and should never be a 5-star resort. It should be hell on earth. I'm not saying they should torture you. I'm not saying they should beat you. I'm not saying they should deprive you of anything. But you're not there because you won Citizen of the Year award. It's not a reward. It's a punishment. It should not be comfortable. You should hate every minute that you're there. Do I think they're not feeding them? No, I don't think they're not feeding. Do I think they're getting lobster and steak every night? No, I'm sure they're not. They're probably getting one step above like gruel. You're in prison. That's what you get. More to the point, you're in this country illegally. We don't want you here. In the most respectful way I can say it, get out. Had you just self-deported when you had the chance, you wouldn't be doing all this. More importantly, I can guarantee you there's not one person they have in that detention center who just came across the border within the last week. You probably have people in there who've been in this country illegally for years and have made no attempts to become citizens, made no attempts to get a visa. I don't feel sorry for them. You've had ample opportunity to try to rectify things or get the ball rolling, and you've chosen not to. And I blame the liberals for telling them, no, don't worry about it. You don't have to follow the law. And I blame some religious leaders who've told them the same thing. You've listened to the wrong people. You've listened to idiots. You should have listened to Republicans and conservatives like, dude, you can stay. Just fill out the paperwork. But you didn't want to listen to us. You wanted to listen to the morons that told you that got you where you're at. So, yeah, there's video upon video of these people assaulting Leo, assaulting ICE agents, blocking them from leaving and bringing people in. My question to the governor of Jersey, and I know I'd get a better response talking to a goddamn tree, or the president of the U.S., when does law become enforceable? When are we going to start enforcing the law? When do we stop basing what we enforce on feelings? These people are assaulting police officers. How long will we tolerate that? How long is that acceptable? I don't care how they feel. Their feelings don't mean anything to me. They can't do what they're doing, and it needs to be stopped. So I'm asking the governor of New Jersey and the president of the U.S., step in. This is enough. They've had their 15 minutes. They've screamed and cried. We get it. They're upset. They're mad. They want the people released. Okay, we got it. Time for them to go home. Let's get back to normal. This is getting ridiculous. And I'm not even into the show yet, and I'm already on my soapbox. And finally, in breaking news, and not finally, but all I'm covering, I don't know if you've seen this utter moron. She is running for office and has refused or turns her back to the U.S. flag during the Pledge of Allegiance. And people are, of course, that's great. Good for her. She's wonderful. I just don't know when as a society or just as American citizens, are we going to start demanding, if you want to run for office, you better goddamn well like the country. You better show some respect. And if you're an immigrant, same thing. And if you can't be here. You'll have to leave. I don't know why everybody thinks, well, anybody can come to this country. No, we're allowed to be selective. Every other country in the world is selective about who they let in. We can be selective because before they get here, they're not a citizen. There's someone trying to come into our house. And if I don't want you in my house, you're going to leave. And if you come into my house and you disrespect my house, you're going to leave. This needs to apply to politicians and people coming in from other countries. Respect it. Become, a part of us. Accept us or get out. It's that simple. And I don't know why it's so difficult for people. I wouldn't expect to go to another country and go, I'm not acclimating to your country. I'm going to stay in America and do all the things I used to do in America. Then go back to America. You're not in America anymore. You're not in Mexico. You're not anywhere. Wherever you're from, you're not there anymore. You're here. You are required to assimilate. And if you can't, bye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I don't think I'm asking for too much. I don't think I'm expecting too much. And if I am, well, two things you can do about it, nothing and like it. So that is breaking news. And of course, there's probably other stuff going on. This is what caught my eye. So let's get into getting the guests on because I'm sure they're waiting for me to shut the hell up so they can get on. So here's my co-host, Damon Galdo. And like I said, we'll talk about that ice thing a little bit because I know you probably know more about it than we do because you're there.
Yes, absolutely. I thought you forgot about us for a second with your long rant there.
I can't because
it was good though. It was good.
The little side where I can see your pictures. You're all doing this to me. Like, come on. I cannot not see you. So Damon will be my co-host this evening. We have our guest, Fred Profiter, is there, and he is the former president of the Maryland. There he goes. He didn't want me to say who he was. So I'm not going to say who he was. And then Joe and I hope I don't mispronounce your name. Sereday?
You got it. Yes.
Cool. And Joe Sereday is with us. He'll be leaping through the hoops with all of us, talking about the crazy stuff we're going to talk about. Fred's just having some technical difficulties, and there's Fred again. He's back there. He is the former president. Maybe I should just not say his name. Maybe that's what's pushing it off. When I say, hey, it's Fred, then he goes away. So I'm not going to introduce him because if I do, if he comes back, I introduce him. Apparently, that's like the kiss of death, and he'll be gone. All right, so let's get everybody back on.
He's a little shy.
Oh, Fred is far from shy. Hopefully, Fred will be back here momentarily. I can hear you. Probably a good thing we can't see you. You have a face for radio. Can you hear us? No, he can't hear us. Oh, maybe I offended him. No. He was in the Navy. I'd have to do a lot to offend him.
Yes, he said his Wi-Fi was kind of.
Yeah, I'm in the sticks, and he's further out. Oh, I'm not going to say anything because if I say something, he's going to get kicked off again. So I'm not saying anything. Oh, not me.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work out for him.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
I know he's up in the sticks, and his Wi-Fi is not that good, but Fred can keep trying to come on.
But before we get into what we're talking about, give us an update on the ICE Detention Center in New Jersey. What's going on? Are they doing anything about it? I mean, what's happening?
No, they're not. And well, they are doing something about it. I'll tell you what they did. On Memorial Day, our own governor, who I'm not a fan of, obviously, Mikey Sherrill, goes to the ICE Detention Center. Doesn't go visit veterans. Doesn't talk about veterans, talk about the fallen soldiers that fall for this country, goes to an ICE detention center. And that's what she does. Our own governor, because we're a sanctuary state now.
Right.
It was a joke. It was a piece of, but I don't even want to get into it. But it's like, I don't understand how our own governor of of New Jersey goes to the ICE detention center in Delaney Hall on Memorial Day instead of going in front of veterans and talk about, the ones that served this country, that gave us the freedoms that we have, and actually gave the illegal immigrants the freedom to cross our border and break our laws, and then have us freely kick them the hell out. But it was a mess. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, what little bit I've seen on it, of course, it's all slanted to the protesters being the victims. Like, oh, they're just trying to help and blah, blah, blah. And they parade every kid they can find out and go, that's my dad. He's in there, and they're starving him and they're beating him. At this point, I really don't care what they're doing to him. I don't. I'm so over. It's just like with the flotilla in Israel. I'm so sick of hearing, oh, the Israelis raped me and then broke my ribs and my arms, and then 2 days later I'm fine. It's a miracle. I'm so tired of hearing about all this, and if that's really what's happening, I don't care anymore. I don't. They have just blown it so far out of proportion that even if something serious happens at this point, nobody's going to believe them because they've lied about everything they can lie about.
No, you're right about that. You are. 100%.
I have heard of elected officials.
Go ahead, Joe.
Now, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Now, I'm pretty much with you. I am tired of American elected representatives going out of their way to go fight and protect people that shouldn't even be in here in the place, people who, like you, they deserved, are in there for a reason. Should have went home a long time ago, if they come here. And, the old saying, guys, it's a shame to say because it's, it is a terrible thing, but FAFO. So, when you go around, marching and screaming expletives and nonsense, you know what I mean? There's going to be a point where you don't obey orders, unfortunately, And it's a shame that Andy Kim got pepper sprayed right in the eye from my agents,
I've seen that. I don't think he got pepper sprayed. I don't think he got pepper sprayed.
Really?
I think it's all an act. I've seen him. Yeah, because his face would have been bright red, and it wasn't. I think he acted.
Yeah. Remember when he faked picking up the water bottles after January 6th? And all the Democrats were like, oh, he's so heroic for picking up water bottles after the... So I wouldn't doubt it either if that was staged, if he just pretended and say, hey, quick, guy. Just like our guys. Our governor is also a fraud and, parading around for citizens as opposed to, like you said, Damon, going to a cemetery or speaking to the veterans. It's ridiculous. So it's a mess.
It's a mess. It's and as long as we allow the theater to continue, it's going to go on. It's like I said, I feel bad that I can't believe what they tell me now. Like, these people are being abused. Yeah, you know what? You've been saying that for 2 years and there's been no proof. I don't believe you anymore. And they could literally be happening now. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't believe you anymore. You've cried wolf one too many times. Nothing you say I think is honest. I don't think you're being genuine. And at this point, I think you're just doing whatever you can do to stir up drama. Which is sad because people could be getting hurt. And now I don't think you're telling me the truth.
I doubt it's happening, Seth, because if it was, they would have the evidence of it. I mean, it's just propaganda they put out there. Oh my God, they're being mistreated. Well, no, they're in a detention facility. I mean,
it's not a
5-star hotel. Okay, so like I said before, the last episode we were talking about it. I got arrested before, and when I was younger, when I was 18, 19, and it wasn't a 5-star hotel. They weren't treating me that well because I was breaking windows and stuff like that when I was a kid with me and my friends. So, but it was stupid. But yeah, I mean, you broke the law. You came in this country illegally, and you didn't leave. and we're paying for it. And then look, you asked about New Jersey too. I'll say it, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. We pay $7.3 billion a year to be a sanctuary state. New Jersey state taxpayers. It's insane, and the working class is getting hollowed out because yeah, it is. I was just at a council meeting in Woodbury, and I brought up, that they were saying, oh, well, we had to raise all these taxes for all these homes. And I said, for what reason? And they said, well, a lot of people aren't paying their taxes. I said, does it have something to do with HUD loans or the affordable housing, that the Mount Laurel doctrine that they have here in New Jersey? Is that why they're not paying their taxes? Somebody has to make it up. So, and that's what it is. I mean, and we're paying for illegal immigrants to be here because they're people. I mean, I'm not saying not all of them are bad. I'm just saying it's just they're people. They get sick. They go to the hospital. They have babies. They go to the hospital. I mean, of course, you're going to take them in and have them have their babies. I just know last time I had a baby with my wife, my son, he's 7, it was $44,000. Who is paying for that if they don't have insurance? That's why my insurance premiums are up so high. I mean, it's like, come on, enough is enough. I mean, New Jersey's become a prison. I don't want to just talk about just straight New Jersey, but I mean, and any blue state is become like a prison. Like they don't care. Democrats don't care about their citizens. They care more about their power and illegal immigrants to vote for them. That's it.
Well, you're right. You're both right. I'm not going to argue with any of that because it makes perfect sense. But let's jump into the first segment and get that rolling. Because last time me and Damon were on this, we didn't get to anything.
We went forever, I know.
We didn't get to any of the segments. Well, we got to 2, but which are fine. I don't mind. It is what it is. But so yeah, the first segment we have is called Iran and ran and ran. It seems every time you turn on the news now, it's Iran. I ran this, I ran that. And it's one of those things I'm over it. Done. Okay. We don't want to win anything against them. So just give them what they want. Let's just be done with this. I'm tired of it. This half-stepping, pussyfooting around is getting us nowhere. We're right back to where we were before we started this. And it's going to end up the same way it was before we started. It's going to go right back to what it was before. And I'm done with it. I don't care anymore. I guess it's just out of frustration that we're letting some third world hick nation hang around and make demands. Like we're at a negotiating table and we're letting them make demands. They are in no position to make demands. And they need to be reminded of that. You are in no position to make any demands. You will listen to what we say. You will agree with what we say, or we'll go back to bombing you. There's no negotiation. There's no compromise here. The world is tired of you. We're tired of your bullshit. And since nobody else has the balls to step up and do it, I guess, unfortunately, we have to. But this is the last time we're doing this for like the next 20 years. So we're going to make it hurt this time if you don't do what we say. But we're not doing that. Again, we're still letting them call the Strait of Hormuz. They're straight. We're going to charge toll. No, you're not. That's like me looking at my neighbor going, if you mow your lawn in your yard, you got to pay me money. He would beat me up. And rightly so. What do you think about that?
Joe, you take this one.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Well, I would agree. I think this is going on for far too long. We were originally promised that this would take no more than about 4 weeks, right? It is a thing for Iran not to have a nuclear weapon. We should have sort of prominence in the Middle East to stabilize, since we've it's a mess and we've done an awful lot to kind of almost make it what it is a little bit. And I'm with you. I'm over it myself. It is hurting us. There is negotiations being talked about all the time, but it seems that really happening. Notice this, as I'm sure a lot of everyone sort of has. It's going in a cycle where, we're going to attack, and never mind, we're taking that back. We're in negotiation now. And it's incredibly fatigued over it myself. I mean, everybody is feeling it at our gas tanks, right? We got $5 gas, and there's nothing going on. I would either say we either need to pull out, right? We need to get tougher on our negotiation, and ensure we don't have a nuclear weapon, that they do not harm Americans or harm Israel. Israel also has to have some sort of restraints. President Trump has done a pretty good job at that a little bit. But, Israel is, they feel obligated to attack. They're going to attack. So I would like cooperation on all parts. But seemingly we're not getting that. So as much everyone else is, I'm incredibly fatigued. I'm angered, and it's hurting Americans. Not a good look, and it's not good. So,
well, I would say, here's my take on it. Now, if you look at the prior presidents to Trump, and listen, I don't live and die by Trump. I just want to put it out there, but they all said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They're one of our greatest enemies. I mean, you go back to Obama, and even Hillary wasn't president, but Hillary said it. Bill Clinton said it. I mean, Donald Trump said it back in the late 80s, like 1987. He was talking about it. So I mean, and it's been a long time that they've been a thorn in the world's side. The biggest funder of terrorism, and I think that what Trump is doing now, I don't know how I can't look inside of his head, but he started this. It needs to happen. Definitely need to happen. They can't have a nuclear weapon. Definitely no problem. No doubt in my mind that they could have one. So, I mean, what he did going in there and taking out their Navy, taking out all the Ayatollahs and all that stuff, he did it quick, hard, heavy, and the blockade, I think, was a genius thing to do. Really, because it brought China actually closer to us on our side, even though they hate us. But they're strangling them out, So, but it does need to end right away. It does. So I think what Trump is doing, he's trying to show some type of diplomacy and saying, "Hey, I'm not going to annihilate you because I promise people no new wars. But if you don't come to the table finally, then you're going to get it." And I think that may have to happen because their leadership does not care about their people. I mean, they murdered like 40-some thousand people that protested. They'll starve the people out. They'll hold off. They don't care that the Strait route is blocked. They don't care at all. They'll starve their people out 100% and let them all die. And that is the major problem. That's why they're so hard to beat them, because they don't care. But so you have to go in hot, heavy, hard, and then that's what's going to have to happen. There's no negotiations with them at all. It's not going to happen. And I think he's just trying to save face for it, and it doesn't want the new wars, but he's going to have to do it. I think it's unfortunately it's a lot of lives are going to be lost, but I think it needs to happen. So I mean, he's going to knock out their infrastructure and all that stuff. I don't know what else to do. I'm not a general. I don't plan for this stuff. Seth was in the Navy. He knows. So.
I'd also like to
You're
add
muted.
on too. I am. You guys hear me now?
Oh, yeah, no,
good.
Seth was muted.
It was me.
Yeah. Seth was muted for a second, so we can hear you.
All right.
Or
Gotcha. Okay, he's good now. I'd also like to add on. I am America first. I'm totally against being involved in other foreign situations. I was not against what we're sort of planning here with Cuba. I'm not taking out certain dictators we need to. But I just believe this could have been calculated a little bit better. I was not against the first operation. Actually took down, nuclear capability, whatever they were planning there. I forget what the operation was called, but Fury. Epic Fury was, but this one's Epic Fury. My bad. Yeah, I'm not against, striking when we need to strike. Midnight Hammer. A Midnight Hammer.
Yeah.
This one's Epic Fury, which is going on
Really cool name.
way too long. I was
And
not
that was
against
Trump in the middle of the night
again,
and thinking about it. It was midnight. He's like, I think I would have called Midnight Hammer. That's I'm just making a joke. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe.
not against that at all. You need to have some sort of dominant world, but I just think maybe it could have been done a little bit differently. Maybe we should have went a little bit at the beginning, because it's a good look. Entry, Trump is not doing well amongst his own voters, unfortunately, with this war, because they see it as, and just like you said, Damon, is sort of a little bit of a broken promise. And I'm sure Trump did not mean for us to get in this war, but unfortunately it turned out as such here. To put it frankly, we either need to shit or get off the weather. We need to be a little bit tougher with them, or we're going to force them into negotiation, because, unfortunately I've dug a bit of a hole. Again, I agree. Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. That is number one, but it's just a mess. And I think Israel, a little bit more restraint. I want to say that again. I want to reiterate, they should not try to do their own thing. I think they should listen to us a little bit more. Like when we're in negotiation, maybe not attack. Okay, and yeah, I just think we wrapped up here one way or another. So,
well, trust me, I'm getting screwed by a lot of this too. You see the background behind me, the midterms coming up. So
I know we
let's show everybody
all are. It's not good for midterm.
Let me show everybody what the strait looks like, in case they, for some reason, don't know what it looks like. That's on the next picture. I think I have a. So that's the Strait of Hormuz, 12 miles off the coast of Qatar, and Iran is their waters. It's considered theirs. But with the Strait of Hormuz, under international law, Iran does not own the Strait of Hormuz because it is classified as an international strait, meaning no single nation has a right to block or suspend maritime traffic through it. While the strait's narrow geographically dictates that its shipping lanes fall within the 12 nautical mile territorial waters of Iran and Oman, not Oman, not Qatar, specific international legal framework guarantees free passage through the strait for shipping reasons. So we really need to stop. I mean, Oman doesn't say anything about it. They don't. You do what you got to do. We use it. You can use it. We're not going to do anything. The only country that has anything on chip on their shoulder is Iran. We're going to charge a fee. We're going to block it. We need to stop playing this game with them and pretending like they can do that. Like a blockade. We don't need a blockade. Sink their ships. The second they try to stop another ship, sink it. They send out planes to do something. Put them down. That's how you deal with the child who's throwing a temper tantrum. You put them in their room until they calm down. Iran's throwing a temper tantrum. We need to spank their ass and tell them, no, you own nothing. And this is not just the U.S. saying it. This is the world telling you, you don't own the strait. It's been like this for decades. Don't know why you can't get that through your thick head yet, but we're going to make sure this time you get it through your thick head. That means we destroy and annihilate your military, and all you have are security guards at the mall now to protect your country. That's what we're going to leave you with. But you're going to learn today, you don't own the strait. You have no say in the strait. You can't collect a dime from anybody in the strait. And every time you do that, we're going to destroy the ship you're using. Or we're going to put down the jets you use to do that. And when you run out of ships and you run out of jets and you're sending out grandpa in a canoe, we're going to put them down too. Because you are not in charge here. The world has played with you for far too long. And then before I get to you guys, all the anti-Semite, anti-Israel morons that say, well, this is between Iran and Israel. You all understand that if Iran has a nuclear weapon and destroys Israel, you know who's next, right? They're not just going to, oh, Israel's done, we're good. No, they're not going to stop with just Israel. They will come after us, England, Europe. They want to make the world Muslim. People need to understand that this will not just end with Israel. And if you think that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell you. pennies on the dollar, and you can take ownership tomorrow. So we need to get off that, well, this is just an Iranian, Israel thing. No, this is an Iranian world thing. They are not good neighbors. They never will be good neighbors. They are not good citizens of the world. But that's the straight. That's what all this hubbub is over. Literally, I was in the Navy. If we put out one combat group, one wolf pack, a few subs, and an aircraft carrier, we could own that strait in a day. Literally, in a day. So I don't know why we're playing games. What do you think, Damon?
Well, I think we're playing games just to save face a little bit, because what Trump.
Okay, here's a question: is it saving face, letting this little nation hang around with a world power, or is it saving face to smack them down and be done?
No, I think the president is giving them time and trying to make it diplomatic because he promised no new wars, and a lot of people are upset that we're in a new war. And this is a war that we needed. No boots on the ground, which is fine.
No,
great. Yeah. So, but I just, it needs to happen and end fast. Now, and yes, Iran having a nuclear weapon, it's just like North Korea, and now you can't even touch North Korea right now because they're crazy. You go, the whole little rocket man will fire off them at no time. I mean, same thing with Iran. I mean, they are, and the radical Muslims, radical, not Muslims in general, radical Muslims, they don't care. They get a nuke, they're going to fire. They'll fire it off at somebody. Once one gets fired somewhere, I don't care where it goes. I don't care if it goes over to Europe, goes to the United States, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Once one gets fired, then they're all going.
Yeah.
Everyone is, yeah. So
mutually assured destruction is the term.
And the radicals, they don't care about dying. They're the ones that have chest bombs, they walk in somewhere and blow themselves up. So that's major concern for me and for a lot of people. I mean, and again, I'm not saying Muslims. I'm talking about radicals. There's radical everybody. It doesn't matter. But that's the only thing that concerns me because they're in control over there. The Ayatollahs, they're the radical people, and they will do it. And that's why I think we need to do what we did, but it needs to end quick now. And
well, let me bring up the next picture, and we'll go to Joe because I think a couple of days ago we did a defensive strike where we put down a couple of their mine layers and then took down some of their missile batteries. So this is what a mine layer in Israel looks like. Not Israel, in Iran, pretty much a souped-up canoe. They got mines, and those mines are very effective. You may say, well, I've seen battleships. That little thing's not going to do anything. It does exactly what it needs to do. They're very effective. And they're not there for the military ships. They're there for the civilian cargo ships. That's why they're laying these to make it so they can't just pass through without an escort from Iran. Again, which is in violation of international law. It's probably a war crime and many other things. And finally, I guess somebody said, "Hey, look, we're done." And I think they sunk 2 of them, maybe 3. And I know it was more than 1. And then they bombed some, like I said, missile batteries that same day as a defensive measure. Do you think that was enough, Joseph?
I am not sure because I fall under 2 different. I mean, listen, I am not a general. I am of no authority. I'm not, but I would like to think that the right was made, that the right enough force was made to kind of go back. I think most of the people that push off to, this is Israel's problem. Number one, they, like you said, they don't know that Iran is a threat and they will make a mess of things, bring everyone involved in their own business. But then they also remember how these other wars were stressed, right? That very much, and I trust President Trump's judgment. Again, to reiterate, I don't think Iran should have a nuclear weapon. But to a lot of average American public voter that gets their, news and from off the mainstream media or normie Twitter, as I like to call it, it it's reminiscent of the weapon destruction. So I just kind of like to kind of point that out there that, maybe it's not a complete invalid point to say, hey, it's all Israel's problem. And, why are we getting involved? And I think it is, it's a good question to ask, but it's also, maybe it couldn't done like Midnight Hammer was, perhaps. Maybe something else could have been done. My ultimate problem with the song, it's been going now, it is affect Americans, particularly with the economy, with the gas pump. But, we don't want to see more of a record of this. We don't want Iran to, make further a mess of things, and we want Israel to cooperate with the United States in its efforts of protecting ourselves and protecting Israel, and ultimately, like you guys said, in the world. So, to answer that question, do I think it was enough? Time will tell. I cautiously optimistic still after 4 weeks now, but time will tell. I just want it wrapped up, done and over with, and I want our mission completed. So that's what I would say.
I agree.
So they was gonna say Donald is funny, so maybe we should make Iran the 51st.
I know, I saw that. We could, and we could send all the liberals over to that state, and they could live there. That could be like the 51st liberal state. They could live there, all of them, and make it however they want to make it. That would be fine with me. Ship them up.
So anybody that's watching right now, you can go in the chat box.
Yeah, go over there. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this segment up so we can get to the next one. Again, if you have any questions, a lot of people have been, Donald and some other people have been answering things or saying things. Feel free to jump in. We're going to try not to ignore you. It just sometimes we get wrapped up in what we're doing. So let's go to the break, and when we come back, we'll get into the second segment. We'll try.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangen and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms. Join the revolution because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Welcome back, everybody. This is The Pulse. I'm Seth Eisenberg. That's Damon Galdo. He's running for Congress in District 1 in New Jersey. He's also got some podcasts on here and helps host the Pulse every week on Wednesday at 8. And I can do the bottom because that's easy. This is Joseph Sereday. He's joining us today. We did have Fred Profiter, but there were some technical issues. So he left. Good guy. He was the president of the largest conservative club in Maryland. He led that for a few years and handed it off to another pretty good person. I'll try to get her on too. But this is what we're doing. Alexandra's usually here, but again, she had some prior engagement she had to go to, so she should be back next week. And Elena Barbera, who's always here a lot, the based mother, she's dealing with some serious family issues. And of course, we understand why she couldn't make it because family comes first, and we're all pulling for her and hoping that things go as smoothly as they can for her and her family at this time. And smoothly may not be the ideal outcome, but we're hoping for smooth and quiet, I guess is a good way to put it. They don't need a lot of attention. They just need to be with their family right now. So I hope they do that. And of course, there's me. Anyway, the next segment is Massie and his list that he talks about constantly, weekly, daily, monthly. All you've heard about is this list. I have this list. Yeah, that wet dick. He's got a list. He's going to blow the lid off the Epstein files. He's going to read it on the floor. He says all the time, all the time, and has given us 3 names of people who aren't even associated with the government. Personally, I don't think he has a list. I think he's bullshitting, or he would have done it by now. And if he has a list and he hasn't done it by now, shame on him, because he's grandstanding, and it's not about helping the victims. It's not about bringing people to justice. It's about getting his big head in front of the TV as much as he can so people hear him. I have no respect for the man. If he has the list, he should have read it months ago when he first got it and not done the carrot and the stick thing. Like, ooh, I got a list. Keep paying attention to me, because that's what he's been doing. He's a despicable person. If he actually has a list of people who rape and mess with little children and has not said and not released it yet. I don't care if he releases it at this point. I have no respect for the man. What do you think, Damon?
Well, I would say, why not come out with it already? It reminds me of like Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff said forever to steal the dossier, Russian collusion. We're coming out with it. We're going to drop it on Trump. Never happened. It was all false. So I'm tired of hearing about the Epstein files. It's a horrible thing. I mean, Epstein is a scumbag, through and through, evil man. But everyone uses it and says, we have this, we have that. Where is it? Put it out there then. I mean, really. If the Democrats had it before Trump ran again, they would have dropped it on him in a second if he was on that list. And so I'm tired of hearing people go, oh, Trump was on the list. Well, was he? I don't know. Was Clinton on the list? I mean, why didn't they drop it yet? I'm tired of hearing about the Epstein files, and I'm sorry to say it that way, because it was a horrible thing. The young people that were taking advantage of, I don't want to get into it, but you know what I mean. But it's just, why didn't somebody put it out there yet? It's like something that just keeps, here's a little carrot in front of your face, and I want to just say, maybe I have this, maybe I have that, and well, then put it out there. Just drop it. I want to know. I don't care if Trump's on it. I want to know.
Yeah. I mean, the 3 names he released, and again, just because he released the names does not mean they've committed any crimes. They have not been found guilty or charged of any crime. These are just the names he released. And I want to be perfectly clear. We are not saying these people have committed crimes. They were just on the list he released. Leon Black, former CEO of Apollo Global Management, never heard of him. Jess Staley, American banker and former JP Morgan executive. And Leslie Wexner, former CEO of L Brands. Those are the 3 names he released. Have nothing to do with the government. These are private citizens. And again, they have not been convicted or charged. Those are just names he has on his list. Well, kind of go with what Damon said. I'm getting to the point now with this list like I am with the people on the flotilla and these anti-ICE protesters. You know what? I don't care anymore. You've made it to where I don't care, because every other day I'm hearing you're going to say this, or this person's on the list. Wait till next week. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to read it. Wait till next month. I'm going to read 20 names on, and it never happens. And that's sad, because children were hurt. Yeah. Women were hurt. I'm sure men were hurt. And politics, and they're playing politics with it. And then Massie will stand up in front of the crowd like he's Jesus Christ. I'm better than this, and I'm going to help. No, you're not. You're not. You're right in the 3 rings with everybody else, dude. You're dancing along to the same tune, trying to say that, I'm not involved in this. I want to help. Then help. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Stop telling me you have a list. Read it. It's that simple. What do you say, Joseph?
Yeah, Joe, as a young, and you're part of the Republicans.
Yeah.
Bergen County. I'm sorry. You are the vice president, right?
So, no,
so
I'm the chairman of Burlington County Youngins. Yep. So
okay.
I do want to say, I think Thomas Massie's handling the Epstein files and treating them as if he's questions on his Twitter I seen before, like, oh, hey, should I release the names, guy? I have named treating it as if some sort of game or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I do. Thomas Massie, a favorite of mine. You know, he had some good points. He brought up some good things. He did have one of them was the Epstein list. However, he just did not do a good job of handling it, and he caused a giant commotion over it, as opposed to maybe a little bit more cooperative with them and the DOJ, as opposed to attacking them all the time. Thomas Massie, although he was a libertarian, he was also very, very soft. He has a very, very soft track attacking Democrats when they were going after against basically to go against Adam. He did not want to go against that. I think if you guys could up, it was some sort of lawsuit or some sort of prosecution, and he did not want to be prosecuted even after Adam Schiff gave Trump a problem with Russiagate and attentives left and right. However, I will say too, even though despite all that, I find him to be an important figure. I do think I was in Kentucky, I still would have him against Ed Galerin, because he brings up some interesting points and he asks questions. I just disagree with the way he handles it, particularly with the Epstein, and he voted against the bill too, which had tons of benefits for tax relief and border funding, ICE funding, and so on. So, though I am not a fan of Tom Massie, I probably still would have voted him anyway, because I see him as a necessary force in Congress. But nonetheless, have him anymore, so we won't have to deal with that, and we'll have Galerin. So we'll see what it brings, see what happens. But
let's bring it.
Interesting guy, and something good. Hopefully he doesn't go off to the podcast land, just start a podcast and go around the same talking to Tucker, and hopefully he does do something beneficial, more than, and of course I'm not, but you understand kind of where I'm coming from.
I insult us all the time. It's okay.
Yeah.
So here's the breakdown. Ed Galerin got 55% of the vote, and Thomas Massie got 45% of the votes. I call that an ass whipping. That's not like even in the same neighborhood, in my opinion. I mean, that maybe some people say, "Oh, it's a pretty close race." I call that an ass whipping. And of course, now him and all the other talking heads. Oh, Israel was involved. Israel did this. It's APAC made me lose. So APAC went to everybody's house that was voting in Kentucky, gave them money, told them not to vote for this guy. And they're like, okay, we're going to do that. Number one, he's not that important. I don't care how big his head gets. He's not that important where the entire world was like, oh, he can't win. Number two, the reason he lost is because his message didn't resonate with enough voters. Bottom line. If you were going to vote for him, it wouldn't have mattered if somebody offered you money. You'd have voted for him. And if you weren't going to vote for him, no amount of money would have made you vote for him, because you wouldn't have voted for him. That's when I played football and coached football. What he's doing is what we call the loser's limp. Loser's limp is like if you watch professional football and a pass hits a guy right in the hands and he drops it, but then he holds his wrist right after the play, or he limps off holding his thigh like something happened. Nothing happened. It's called loser's limp. He knew he screwed up. And rather than go, oh, man, I just dropped a perfectly good pass, it's, oh, my arm. Oh, my arm hurts. Oh, I think I rolled my ankle. No, you didn't. That's what he's doing. He lost. He's not the first person to lose. He won't be the last person to lose. And if you're going to go off on some tangent and blame everybody else except assuming the responsibility that your campaign sucked, that you've got endorsements from leftist groups, liberal politicians, and you don't understand that you're in a state that Trump took, and you're trying to bank on liberal endorsements, and then you can't understand why you lost. Maybe you shouldn't have won in the first place. If you can't grasp the fact that, hey, AOC, endorsed me, why aren't they voting for me? Really? You can't understand that? You're in Kentucky. It's not California. It's not New York. That's Kentucky. Good old boys. They like what they like, and they don't like what they don't like. And you have people that they don't like endorse you, you're done.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing, Seth. I always looked at Massie. I called him a puss, I'll say, because my buddy Pete liked him a lot, but he kind of grew me a little bit. He forced me into different ideas with Massie. I'm like, no, he votes against the Republican Party all the time. Like, he definitely does. Now, I'm going to go with the APAC money. No, yeah, that is an issue. They spend a ton of money on him to beat this guy. So I don't know what that's about. I don't think we should be taking foreign money for candidates.
APAC is American citizens, though. It's not foreign money.
Well, it kind of is.
It's still kind of advocating for a foreign country, though. Advocating for an American alliance with a foreign country. And I would be, just not to cut in, Damon, but I am pretty much against foreign long and APAC to be particular. And like I said, I would have voted for Massie, but there's tons of flaws with him. And just like you said, Kentucky knows what they want. Kentucky likes Trump. Kentucky likes conservative values. And Massie perhaps could have communicated those conservative values a little better. And that was a downfall because he was too combative. You have people like Lauren Boebert and Anna Paulina Luna, who are, some against the grain with the Trump administration, want to work together. Thomas Massie was an attention seeker and a clout seeker, but I don't think that makes Ed Galerin any good either, unfortunately. But yeah, pretty much what I wanted to say.
I'm not sure about Ed and all that stuff, but I just know Massie was. I'm running for office, so I can't say what I want to say. I didn't like him at all. Yeah.
I referred to him as masshole.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Seth. Thanks for saying it. So, but no, I didn't like him at all. So he needed to go. And I don't know about Ed that much. I really don't know. I don't know his track record or anything yet. But Republicans need to work together. I mean, I'm not saying you have to stand in line with every single, I say it all the time. Did I vote for Trump? Sure. But was he going to vote for Harris? No. But I don't agree with everything Trump does. I don't. But it just, you have to at least help out. Voting against the big, beautiful bill, all right? Look at New Jersey. Now, there was no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. New Jersey went against that, and they're not doing it. I mean, so that's something that we do here in New Jersey. So you still have to work with your party. There's a lot of people here. I told my wife too. She got a social media war in a way with somebody that. Yeah.
I love your wife.
Yeah. But this guy, he posted something for no reason. I was friends with him. I thought we were friends anyway. And he just posted something. And I told him, don't respond. I'm not getting into a social media war at all. Don't do it. And then second time, boom, again. And then I'm like, don't respond. Don't do anything. Third time, that's it. But that's the way I see with Massie. It's the same thing. It's like, it's like, come on, you have to work together at some point. And I see that with Massie, and I really do. I'm not a fan of APAC and all that stuff. I'm not a fan of any PACs because PACs are funding my opponent like crazy, and I don't have any PAC funding me whatsoever. So my own union PAC won't even fund me. So the Carpenters Union, you can go, even though I'm a carpenter, there you go. I don't care. You can't do anything to me. I get my own work.
Well, the thing with Massie is everybody APAC. Well, what about CARE? They gave Massie $15 million. A bunch of other.
I was going to say that.
Everyone.
I wanted to say that.
I don't understand.
Thomas Massie was funded by Fringe Forces as well. Thomas Massie was not completely sent because he wasn't funded by APAC. Does not mean that he was funded by Democrats, by foreign interests, by the CARE, and a collection of a bunch of strange, rich billionaires, I want to say, have voted to questionable causes before. So he is completely innocent of that at all. But, with this big debate of APAC and foreign lobby in general, I guess Massie was a flawed representative of that specific side of foreign lobbying. Thomas Massie was funded and brought up and variable faith, not completely innocent in that at all. So,
and I agree with both of you. If we want to do away with all PACs, that's fine. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Get rid of them all. But what I'm over is people singling out APAC. Like it's APAC. No, it's not just APAC. You can't just say, don't look over here. Just look right here. Ignore everything over here. It's just right here I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid of them
all.
I'm all for that. I have no problem. Yes. It's like watching a football game and all you're watching is the whole center. You can't just watch the center in a football game. You got to watch the entire field.
Yeah, I say to people all the time, I'm like, there's the flavor of the month. I mean, you'll get how much the pharmaceutical companies fund candidates. I mean, it's even more. So there's a lot out there, but it's just whoever's the flavor of the, well, I'm not going to say month, flavor of the year or 2 years now, then people focus on it. And it depends on, I got a lot of friends that are, so yeah, I'm like, listen, whatever. Yes, I don't think they should be funding these candidates, but a lot of people take their money. Hey, APAC, I will take your money. If you want to fund my campaign, I'll take it. I said, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. My platform is my platform. That's what I'm doing. Even if I serve one term and you throw me out, I will take your money to beat Norcross. Just to let you know, anybody out there, I will take your money to beat Norcross. And then if I screw anybody over, then maybe I'll just serve one term.
And I think Joseph brought this up a minute ago, and I'm not judging you. I'm not attacking you. I just have my own opinion. Saying you would have voted for Massie over the other guy because Massie was more than the other guy. I'm in Maryland, which is a fraction of an inch less than Jersey. We're trying to take over. I think the problem with the Republican Party is just that. The lesser of two evils. I'm voting for him because he's better than, or he's not as bad as. That's like saying this pile of dog shit doesn't smell as bad as that pile, so I'm going to go stick with that pile. We need to back off of that. We need to say no. If you don't put up a candidate that I can back, I'm not voting at all. I'm going to undervote. And if you undervote, that sends a much better message than just voting. That shows the party, hey, they're not with us at all. They're not even voting for this guy or woman. We need to stop with that mentality. That's why the Republican Party puts up who they put up, because they know they're going to vote for them. They're not going to stand up. They're going to just take whoever we put out there. We need to stop doing that. We need to just stop going down the ballot going, oh, there's a lot of people are, but the people who are in charge of the parties don't care. They're just going to throw out whoever they can throw out. And if they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. We don't care. We still got our dues. You paid us your money. We're still going to have a Christmas party. We're going to get in the newspaper. We don't care. There's no accountability for their poor choice. In Maryland, it's that way. Hell, last gubernatorial election, Dan Cox ran. The Republican Party of Maryland worked against him. They gave money to the Democrat nominee for governor. They campaigned against him. The governor who was here, Hogan, who's just useless as tits on a boar hog, was a Republican, campaigned against Dan Cox, did photo ops with the Democrat candidate. And then people in Maryland, oh, here's my money. Here's my dues. Here's my donations. And then they wonder why we can't win anything here. I'll tell you why you can't win anything here. Because you just give them your money and don't care. You don't demand anything for it. And I can see Jersey being the same way. People support the party with money, and then that's where their concern ends. Did you get my paycheck? Oh, good, okay. And then they leave. Oh, you got my money? Okay. They don't go, what are you going to do with it? Who are you supporting? Why are you supporting that candidate? Nobody asks questions, because I guess asking questions of your party makes you what, anti-Republican? I'd rather be anti-Republican than just give my money to a party that doesn't care what I want.
Amen.
And just does what they think is. And it's sad. I mean, and I know Damon, he's a good friend of mine. Look at Damon, prime example. The man's got a platform, he's got an idea, he's got things he wants to do that will help everybody. But the party's like, good luck. That's their help. Good luck. Well, what do you do with the millions and millions of dollars you get in donations and dues for these clubs? Where is that going? Who is getting that money?
Well, Seth, I'll tell you this. I know we're going to take another break soon, but same thing as this Southern Poverty Law Center, funding the KKK to make more money. It's the same thing with any PAC too. It's the same thing. That's what they do. They're going to fund anybody that's going to make them more money. That's why it's a messed up situation. So, but I was always saying I'll take their money but I'm not going to listen to what they want. Not giving me money anyway to give it to my opponent. But send me your money but grassroots people, yes, I will listen to you, my constituents. But the big PACs out there, I'll take your money and run with it.
And that's sad that you have to do that because the party won't help you. Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah. You
should be like, look, I don't need I don't need outside money from anybody. My party's got me. I'm good. I'm fat with cash. They've taken care of me. But they don't do that. But God forbid you're late with your dues, your donation. Go ahead.
Go, Joe.
I want to address sort of what you got about and what's by the name of Min Tech in the comics in here. Do not undervote that they could cheat. Always fill every blank if you write, even if you write in a derivative, which I understand where that person is coming from. The Democrats, Republicans are very much flawed. Republicans can be just as corrupt as the Democrat Party, but I think we should all be principle over party. As South eloquently put it before, we can over a sandwich or a douche. You know what I mean? We cannot be voting for either one of them. We have to have principles. We have to, we can't vote for a rhino or a, marked radical leftist. You know what I mean? For it, we have to vote third party, then vote third party as much as I personally think that it's a waste of a vote. Don't feel limited to those two options. You know what I mean? Everyone has a voice. Everyone has a say. We can't excuse the Democrat. We cannot applaud Republicans just because the other person is a Democrat on kids and up your taxes and everything. But the other guy is like, oh yeah, I'm totally conservative guy. He's over promising or saying all this stuff, but is otherwise and all this other stuff. So I agree with that notion, but I also disagree with that notion. Please, principle over party. Don't settle. Do not settle. We're better than this, everybody. We're better than this.
That's true. I mean, like I said, don't go with the lesser of two evils anymore. Don't. If you're not happy with what's there, like you said, do third party. If you don't like anybody third party, write in somebody. Write in yourself.
Oh God!
Don't just vote because I have to vote Republican because I'm Republican, even though I don't like the candidates and they don't speak for me. I'm still going to vote for them. No, don't.
If Pete Sykes is watching this right now, you just made him the happiest man in the world with his third party.
Well, sometimes the third party speaks.
I know he wants to start a whole new party. He calls it the People's Party or America's Party, whatever it is. He's got it in his head. I'm like, it's not going to happen right away. I said, you do what you want. But
I'm not totally against that. I'm not totally against that, but it's Republicans again are deeply flawed. We have lots of issues We have lots of questionable people and behavior and everything like that, right? But that being said, as we sort of criticized him a little bit before, Trump and other people, but not Trump alone, made the Republican Party. He transformed the Republican Party along with a big tent party. So why would we go? It's just my personal opinion. Not against going third party or creating a third party. Republicans don't always do the best job of representing us. But why are we going to put it this way? We say we have a house, right? The Republican Party is our house. Happens to be a roach infestation, right? What are we that has, equity and memories in it and like that? Or are we going to tackle cockroaches, stomp them, and get them out of our house? I choose the latter. I think the Republican Party, and other have incredible opportunities. It's just, a couple coaches, we got to throw them out. That's what I say. So not against third party. I just think it's a lot of money and resources that it's just a long shot. That's my opinion, though.
You're absolutely right with that. I said the same thing with my buddy Pete. I said we got to just root out the cockroach. No, I didn't say cockroaches. I didn't use that term, but I said root out the POS that are in the Republican Party. I said we don't need to start a new party, but I'll let you take over, Seth.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and get to the next segment. We're rolling along this time. We're really moving, which is good because there's stuff to talk about still. We still got some time to do it. So take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Unless I cough and pass out.
America's Pulse Network and the Jersey Shore podcast will be live streaming a town hall featuring Justin Murphy, candidate for Senate, and Damon Galdo, candidate for Congress, District 1 in New Jersey. The event will take place on May 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, broadcasting live from the Medford Community Center. You can watch the stream on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Substack.
Everything's falling apart.
Yeah, it is. So is my eye. By the way, I have pink eye. My son had pink eye. And,
I'm not laughing at you.
Yeah,
I'm right about the conversation we had earlier about that.
Everyone's saying, "How'd you get pink eye?" I'm farting on my pillow. What was that movie? That 40-year-old. That was, I forget what it was.
Oh yeah. But yeah, before we get done with today, I'm going to let Damon talk about the town hall he's going to be at with Justin Murphy a little bit, give some information about that. But yeah, there's a lot of things coming up, and we're going to get into that right after this segment. This segment is not about politics that much. It's more about, hey, let's just lighten up, laugh at things, and, enjoy life, because it can't all be about politics 24/7, or you'll end up climbing a water tower. So we don't want that. So the first thing we got here, where is it? The first, a little political, but it's kind of funny. You can see the sheer terror in this woman's eyes as she's held accountable for her actions the first time in her life ever. This is what should happen when you assault a police officer. End of story. Period. Hard stop. You should get snatched up and arrested. And it looks like she's, like the caption says, she's never been held accountable for anything. She's probably a rich, single white woman making very good money, probably has 75 cats, and feels like she can say and do whatever she wants to. And all of a sudden, she's being told, nope, that ain't happening no more, sister. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. And she doesn't know how to act. I think that's funny as hell, because that should happen to anybody. I mean, these guys have a job to do. They don't wake up every morning going, man, I hope I get to fight today. I want to fight with 50 people. They don't. They want to go home just like you do. They want to get to have their break whenever they can. They just want to go through a day quietly. That's all they want. Do you think police officers and these guys want to fight? Do you understand the amount of paperwork they have to do after this? How many forms they got to fill out? How many reports they got to write? How many people they got to talk to about this? They don't want that. That's not on their agenda. My father was a police officer. I can guarantee you they want to avoid this like the plague. Like, dude, I don't want to stay at work 3 extra hours filling out reports and talking to my lieutenant. I don't want that. I just want to go home. They avoid this whenever they possibly can. for that very reason. My shift is over. I want to go home. I don't want to sit here for 3 more hours filling out paperwork and telling people the same thing over and over and over again. I don't want it. So give them a break. Just do what they ask you to do. It's all you got to do. Move. And you move. That's it. I mean, I've never met an adult in my life that wouldn't know to move out of the front of a moving car. I was taught that when I was 2. You get out of the way of a moving. Don't play in the street and go to the side of the road if a car comes down the road. Not get in front of it and try to stop it. Maybe we were just raised differently then. I don't know.
Well, young Joe here, let him answer.
You were raised to get out of the street, right? Like your parents said, "Hey, Joe, there's a car coming. Get out."
It all comes from the upbringing, I would say. In generation, yes, but it all comes from the upbringing because I was raised in a similar way. So a lot of it's common. It's that just comply, obey laws, and life's gonna be peachy keen and very easy. You know what I mean? Or you could do what as we were talking about with Detention Center, FAFO, just like Amber and all those other nitwit protesters did. So it's up to you.
And before everybody starts calling us bootlickers,
make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.
Yeah, it's up to you. So before we're called bootlickers, let me explain something to you. You're going to lose an argument on the street with a cop. You're going to lose. Resisting arrest is a crime. That's why you can be charged with it.
Yeah.
The best thing to do, and I'm not saying everybody behind a badge should be behind a badge. My father, a retired police officer, will tell you the same thing. Not everybody who's a cop should be a cop. Just like everybody who's a doctor shouldn't be a doctor, and etc. The street is not where you fight it. You're going to lose. Yep. If he's wrong, you know he's wrong. Yes, officer, no, officer. Here you go, officer. Thank you very much, officer. Court is where you fight it. In front of a judge. Show the judge your proof. And if you're right, you're right. The judge's going to go, you know what, you're right. I'm dismissing his case and I want to talk to the officer. On the street is not the time to get out your phone and put it in their face and go, I don't answer questions. I don't give my... Stop. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. And you look like an idiot. I mean, there's other people. Yeah, there's people out there that think that's cool. Give the guy a hard time. Make his job much harder. We don't go to the bowling alley when you're working and hassle you about how the shoes smell. Just let them do their job and go to court and fight it. And if you're right, you're not going to have to pay court costs. You're not going to have to pay a fine. You're not going to have to pay anything. So don't hassle these guys, men and women out there just because you want to be YouTube famous. Just do what they ask you to do, for God's sake. And if you did that 20-minute interaction you just caused would be over in 3 minutes and you'd be on your way, probably without a ticket. Just fight it in court. Don't fight it on the street because you're going to lose.
You're right, Seth. Listen, you got to pick your battles.
Yes.
Years ago, it was a long time ago, I bought a Dodge Charger, and I was living down in Mays Landing for a short period of time, driving up the Blackworth Pike, going to work, and this cop pulled me over 3 times, 3 days in a row. And I wasn't even speeding. I literally saw him in the left lane, and I had my cruise control on, and it was 55 miles an hour. I was doing 62. So he's in the left lane, and I'm starting to catch up to him. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to dial it down a little bit. I want to pass him. Yeah. So I dialed it down, and then he slowed down, and he pulls me over. And he's like, you know why I pulled you over? I said, no. He's like, you're speeding. I'm like, well, if I was speeding, I said, I don't think I was. I actually saw you, and I slowed down. So anyway, he gives me a warning. Next day, same thing. I was doing 60 in a 55. I didn't see him this time. Pulls me over. You know why I'm pulling you over? I said, no. He said, you were speeding. I said, officer, I don't know. I just bought this car. I said, I don't know if the speedometer is broken. I said, if you're telling me I was speeding, I apologize. And he let me go. Third time. I bought, because the Dodge Chargers had a pointed front. So I didn't have a license plate on the front. Well, I had to order, the type of mounting bracket for the license plate in the front. In New Jersey, you had to have one on the front and the back. So it pulls me over. He's like, there's no license plate on it. I'm like, it's right here, man. You pulled me over twice already. I said, I ordered it. I said, come on. I'm like, I said, whatever let me do, no problem. I didn't argue with him. He's like, all right, I'm just letting you know. Like he was messing with me. I'm at that point, but I still didn't like video him and like give him any trouble. And let me go. I didn't get any tickets or anything like that. It was just like, all right, just get your mounting bracket for the front. Then I never took the Black Coast bike again to work. I took the expressway.
See, that's all I'm saying. You can call us a bootlicker, but if bootlicker means I just obey the law and I'm a good human being, then I'm a bootlicker. That's fine. I'll wear that like a badge. I don't hassle people doing their job. I don't give them a hard time. You know what? Maybe I did screw up. Thank you very much. Have a good day, officer. And 9 times out of 10, well, hell, 3 out of 3. Well, Damon, they'll let you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
I trust me. I was mad the second time, man. Third time, I was like, "Come on, man, this guy, like seriously." And I wanted to. And I just complied. I was like, "Okay, I will get the." And he said, "Yeah, go ahead, leave." Yeah. And then nothing happened. So, but trust me, I wanted to, but I have a cooler head, and I know that it's stupid to go against, a cop, for that reason. And that's the whole thing. Even if you did something wrong, and you try to fight it, you're going to lose.
Yes.
It's
let's bring up the next picture real quick so we can get to some other stuff here. I don't remember what this one is. So it's not that. This. Okay, we're going to play a quick game. That's Jamie Lee Curtis in the middle, from Halloween, the scream queen of the 70s and 80s. Can you paint? She thinks nobody can. So here's the question. Which one of her daughters is really a man? She says nobody can tell. I'll give you 2 seconds. You don't even need 2 seconds. I'm going to go with the guy in the blue.
Yeah, I was gonna let that one go.
She literally says no one can tell the difference between her daughter and the man. And you know what? God, if that's how you want to live your life, that's fine. I have no problem with that. My problem is when you try to force it on me. Like I have to play this game. Oh yeah, you're a beautiful woman. I love your beard. What do you use to shave with? There's nothing wrong if that's how you want to live your life. That's fine. And as a conservative, that's how we are. Live your life how you want to live it. But don't push it on me. Don't force me to accept it because I'm not. If you want to marry a man, but don't force me to accept it. Don't make it a law that I have to say, yes, you're a woman. Yes, Mikey, you're a woman. It's not right. In my opinion, I don't think it should be treated differently or anything, but if that's how you want to live your life, that's your life. You live it. It's not mine. I don't want to be involved in it. Keep it out of the schools. Keep it away from kids. You live your life. And God bless you. But that's not how it works with liberals. They want everybody to be with them. And the last picture, this is going to break. Joseph, are you married or single?
I'm single, sir.
This is going to break your heart then. I'll bring up that next picture. We'll skip this one, go to the last one, and we'll come back to this one.
Oh, God.
She has made it very clear, and you need to listen up, Joe. It's going to make you cry. You might want to get some tissue. She's made it very clear, abundantly clear, that she will no longer date Trump supporters until he's out of office.
Oh,
I know that breaks your heart.
Jeez. Oh, man.
That's
Thank the Lord. Oh, man.
When I read
she's
that,
looking for a date, Joe.
Oh, man.
When I read that, I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah. I don't have any friends, fortunately, that would be interested. So, that sucks. Yeah. That's what I would.
Horrible.
Man.
Hey, she looks the way she looks. There's nothing against her other than her nose ring and her glasses and her haircut and that's all.
The nose ring, the lip ring, the earrings.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they should put that picture on every box of Viagra. And it should say, in case of erections that last more than 4 hours, please look at this picture for 2 minutes.
You can save a hospital.
Save your hospital money. Just look at this picture. You'll be fine. Trust me. And let's go back to that one last picture of the young man. I think it was right. Yes. This was in England, I believe, or somewhere in that area. The school went to a mosque to talk about religions and how they work, and then they said, "Well, let's pray." He said, "No, I'm not Muslim." Everybody else got down. He said, "I'm not Muslim." I applaud that. If you want to learn about religions and teach about religions, that's fine. But you shouldn't make somebody pray in a religion that's not theirs. And I applaud this kid for standing up for what he believed in. I think it's awesome. I think if more people were like that, it might be a different world we live in. But I think that's awesome. I think it was like fifth or sixth grade. So it wasn't like these are high school kids. This is a kid who had the fortitude to say no. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. All right, we're winding out here. So let me give it to Damon real quick. Talk about the town hall on Friday. Where's it at? Who's going to be there? How can they watch? Things like that.
Well, it will be Friday at 7 p.m. at Medford Community Center. That's in Burlington County, Medford. So Justin Murphy will be there with me, and we're going to have a town hall. Everyone is invited. We're going to take all the questions that everyone may have. There'll be other candidates there too, people that are running for, I think Rob Scholl will be there running for mayor of Burlington Township as well. So we'll be there to take some questions as well. It'll be mostly just Murphy and I, and then we'll give everyone else time to take questions. So everyone is invited. Everyone is invited to it because they need to know their candidates. So that's what this comes. And we have a lot of stuff coming up. I mean, heck, I got tomorrow night having something in Gloucester City, an event there, but it's like a committee meeting I'm going to, but that's not anything I'm telling anybody to come to, but you can if you want, but it's just,
and then talk about the thing on Saturday.
Saturday, yes, that's what I was getting to after that. Saturday is the K9 Country Jam, and I was knocking on the doors getting my signatures for my petition, and I ran into this guy, and he invited me into his house. We sat down, we were talking. I seen him cut up these flyers for the K9 Country Jam, and he told me about it. And I said, "What is it?" And he said, "Well, he was a police officer, and he said that they have to pay for their dogs, the canines. He said they take them home with them. Obviously they feed them, take care of them. He said, but even if they get sick or hurt, they have to pay, the vet bills for them." I'm like, really? I said that these dogs are like police officers. If you were to shoot one of them, you're going to jail like you shot a cop.
Yep.
And I couldn't believe it. But he did say to me, he said, it kind of works out because a lot of people come to it and they raise a lot of money off it. So it keeps down the police budget. He said, as long as we can keep this fundraiser going, then it's great. It keeps down our budget and it takes care of our dogs. So that's why it's so important. And so he told me about it. We have 3 country music guys that are coming, one from Texas, one from PA, one from New Jersey here, local. And I'm sure our great producers are going to play it at the end of the show and play the video that we made for them. And so it'll be Saturday at 1 p.m. At Landisville, New Jersey. So you'll see the flyer. It'll play in the end. But yeah, I can't wait for it. I've never been to it before. We're teaming up with Steve DiOrio, 92.1. I used to have a show there too. It's on hold right now because I'm campaigning. I don't have the time. And so we're getting everything set up. It's going to be a great time. So I hope everybody comes if they can.
I might be there, hang out with Damon. I'm in Maryland, so I was there for the election night. I came up there to hang out with Damon and some other guys. So yeah. I'm going to try to get up there Saturday. But
that was fun with my buddy.
Oh yeah, that was.
He still apologizes. I'm sorry about it.
It was New Jersey. I didn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
I'd have been disappointed if nothing happened. I'm like, oh, this sucks. This is boring. And Joseph, Sereday, where can they find you? If they want to get in contact with you about something, how do they do that?
So I'm chairman of the Burlington County Republicans. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. I've believe our handle Earl Car on Instagram. And we have meetings usually every first Thursday of the month. So we have one coming up. For more information and details, please find us on social media. Please contact us, DM us, be in touch with you. For any young Republicans, you don't the county, we welcome everybody. And with that being said, you don't have to be a young person either. It's usually 18 to 40. But if you're below voting age and politics interest you, you're welcome to attend if you're older. I'm at John Tomachey, a New Jersey legend in politics, show up, and it made a very, very interesting meeting. We have people from the New Jersey Project show, and we talk about a bunch of diverse subjects and issues, primarily in Burlington County, but pretty much everywhere. So definitely, and we got to start advocating for the youth a little bit more, because ultimately it's going to be up to us, up to the young Republicans, up to the youth to fight against the people who we're talking about, fight against those that are ultimately going to plague us. So it's never absolutely future Wyoming. So yeah.
There you go.
Well, I want to thank you both for being on here. Not so much Damon, because I see him all the time. Thank you, Joseph, for hanging out. You're welcome to come back any other time you want to. Just let one of us know, and we'll get you on. Damon, I'm sure you're going to hang out and talk to you after the show. Yeah, it was fun having you. So thanks, both of you guys. We appreciate it. I'm going to wrap it up real quick here, and then we can get to the video Damon was talking about, and then the closing ceremonies. I don't know what you want to call it at the end of the show, whatever it's called. Usually what I do at the end, I'm going to do it real quick, is read an opinion. Usually has nothing to do about with the show, but this time it does. And once again, it's my opinion. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to like it. You can tell me to kick rocks, whatever you want to do. It's just my opinion, and I'll share it with you. This country faces a stark choice: the rule of law that built the greatest nation on earth, or rule by mob, where leftist agitators, radical politicians, and open border extremists decide which laws matter and which laws get trampled. The disgraceful chaos at Delaney Hall, the ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey, exposes exactly how deep this rot is spread, and it should make every decent American furious. Detainees, illegal aliens, visa overstays, and criminals awaiting deportation launched a hunger and labor strike, bellyaching about food and conditions in this privately run facility. Instead of enforcing order, activist mobs descended like a swarm of vultures. They formed human chains, blocked every exit and entrance, trapped federal vehicles, and physically confronted ICE agents while trying to do their sworn duty. Agents had no choice but to use pepper balls and batons to restore access after the mob turned violent. This wasn't peaceful protest. This was outright insurrection against lawful immigration agents enforcing lawful laws. These aren't innocent bystanders suffering in some dystopian nightmare. They are people who entered the country illegally and or committed offenses that demand immediate removal. Enforcing our borders and deporting lawbreakers isn't inhumane. It's basic sovereignty. But to the radical left, any attempt to maintain a secure facility is an outrage. They'd rather grandstand with senators and governors outside the gates, turning detention centers into circuses for cameras and political points. Where was their outrage when American citizens paid the price? Where were the human chains blocking roads for fentanyl corpses stacking up from open borders? Where was the compassion for working families terrorized by MS-13 or flooded into cities drowned in crime and strain? The left's selective tears are nauseating. They weaponize human rights for foreign lawbreakers while spitting on the rights of Americans to remain safe in their neighborhoods, secure in their borders, and having a justice system that actually works. This is the same toxic playbook from 2020s, mostly peaceful riots, excusing anarchy, demonizing cops and federal agents, and letting chaos reign while elites hide behind their walls. Soft on crime DAs, no cash bail disasters, and now mobs storming ICE facilities. It's a calculated assault on order itself. Progressive politicians and their activist foot soldiers aren't defending the vulnerable. They're broadcasting loud and clear that America's laws are just suggestions. If you scream, block traffic, assault officers, and bring enough media, the system will bend. Delaney Hall exists because we refuse to let the border chaos swallow our country whole. Attempts to storm the gates, intimidate agents, and obstruct operations aren't advocacy. They're contempt for the rule of law and a direct threat to the civilized society we have. These radicals don't want better conditions. They want the floodgates wide open, consequences erased, and American citizens footing the bill in blood, taxes, and lost security. Enough. Americans are sick of this. We've endured blue crime city waves after defunding the police. We've buried loved ones from cartel poisons. The backlash is building because normal people grasp a brutal truth. Without enforced order, there is no liberty, no safety, and no future worth passing on to our children. The mob at Delaney Hall isn't seeking justice. It's waging war on America's right to exist as a sovereign nation. It's time to choose sides. Stand with the brave men and women of law enforcement who face this daily. Demand leaders who put American citizens first and deportations on autopilot. Crush the rule by mob before it consumes us. Restore the rule of law, or watch this republic descend into a third world disorder that the left pretends doesn't exist until it's too late. The choice is clear. What will we do, America? It's time for this weakness and sickness to be over. Again, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You can laugh it off or whatever. Just my opinion. So thanks again for everybody hanging out this evening. Thank Damon. Thank Joseph for hanging out. It was a great time. Again, we ran over, but not as bad as last time, Damon. We're doing better. We're getting better. We might have to extend this show to like 2 hours because we keep running over. But thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be on again, same bat time, same bat channel next Wednesday. Alexandra should be back, and hopefully Elena will be available. We'd like to have her back. We miss her. I'll be here. Damon will be here. And who knows who else may show up. We don't know until showtime. But thanks. I'll be on not this Sunday, but I think it's June 24th, the last Sunday of June. I'll be back on the Conservative Corner. So I will see you on Wednesday. And again, I may show up on another podcast. I don't know. But thank you very much. Have a good week. And I will see you next Wednesday. Everybody have a good evening.
Cut through the Jersey night. Another call, another fight. Partner riding by his side. Poor Paul steady, full of pride. He does not quit, he does not slow. Run straight where the danger goes. But when the bills come crashing in, the handler pays again. Yeah, the badge is heavy, the job is tough, but these brave dogs deserve enough. Boots on the ground, paws in the fight. K9 heroes working all night. They wear the shield, they hold the line. They give their all every time. If they are officers when danger calls, they should be covered through it all. So we raise our voice and raise this jam for the dogs who always take the stand. Stage. Crowd gets loud, the good hearts raise. These dogs do not choose the line, still they cross it every time. Till the budget makes it right, we will sing into the night. Boots on the ground, paws in the fight. America, hear us loud tonight. Fund the heroes who cannot speak. Stand by the brave who guard our streets. until the day the system stands tall. We will not stop, we will not stall. Country strong and back in the blue. K9 heroes, this song is for you.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun and it's informative and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media, just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
America's Pulse Network thanks you for watching tonight's episode of the Pulse Podcast. See you at the next packed episode that will take you from breaking news to informative topics. So please click on the subscribe button to get notified for upcoming episodes. If you liked what the Pulse covered, then share the Pulse Podcast with others. APN's The Pulse hosts look forward to seeing you